and welcome to another Sanctuary Sunday. Sanctuary! Yes, the day where I try to cover something other than war games. And today, I'm taking a look at Deep State, New World Order. Now, this was something I picked up as part of my bargain hunting, clearance sale, dumpster diving, whatever you want to call it. Found this, and spoiler alert, it does have a few expansions, of which I think I have one that might be coming up. So stay tuned for that. And this is a topic that it's not something that I am pulled to or gravitate towards. As far as I'm not a big conspiracy theory person at all. However, this whole aspect of gaming it, from the New World Order and conspiracies and deep state and stuff like that, I do find kind of interesting. And that goes back to I played a game long time ago. It was a Steve Jackson game, Illuminati, and then eventually became a card game, which one with everything. So this was it was a collectible card game, which I collected a lot of it, but you could buy the whole set and get the cards here as well. But the cards were, let's see if I have some of these, are the blank ones here, it looks like. But you had different Illuminatis that, like here's the Servants of Cthulhu, how about that? And you build off of that. You see those arrows, you're going to build these different factions and agencies and all kinds of things. Let's see if we can find some in here, because everything is here is some right here. Like it's just a survivalist, so they build off of there, and they're going to have a power and a resistance, and they're going to have a special ability, and you get all kinds of different Las Vegas, of course, but you get all these different factions and post office. And Dan Quayle, you can tell what years this came about, but it was kind of an interesting game. I mean, the original game was a relatively simple game. It had some of the same build a tableau and build off of your Illuminati. It had some of that same aspects, but then they turned it into a collectible card game that made it a little bit easier to the rules were a little bit more complicated, actually, but the gameplay was decent. It was kind of like figuring out a conspiracy sometimes, figuring out the gameplay. But once you figure it out, it was pretty fun to play. The aspect of putting all these different organizations together, and that they're being puppets or puppeted by some greater power, was always interesting. So that whole concept of a global conspiracy or something that is controlling and pulling the strings of all these other powerful brokers and politicians and countries and what have you is kind of interesting. So that's what this deep state is, and this deep state is not unlike Illuminati or Illuminati World Order. Is a card game at its heart. What you have here is, during the 20th century, the creation of a single world government became possible. You oversee a subdivision in a mysterious and powerful society, the Committee. Its goal is to become that government. Deep State, the New World Order, is a strategy game where you face many tactical choices as you pave your way to victory. It is based on numerous conspiracy theories. You seize the sources of power, manage your secret agents, and compete for the most influence. Disrupt the plans of your opponent and secure your place as a master of the world. So it's got a lot of the same theming as Illuminati or the Illuminati New World Order. That game that I talked about before, which reminds me, I'll probably I did a spy game, Sanctuary, a couple of Sanctuary Sundays ago. I did spy themes, or spy board games, spy role-playing games. I don't think I covered Illuminati, which kind of fits into that whole spy genre in some respects. So I just must have missed that one, but I'll put a link to the spy coverage down below, and I'll probably put this in my spy playlist, because even though this is not just a spy game, spies and secret agents and agents of influence, and all that is a key part of this. So as you can see here, you're going to dispatch agents to infiltrate political, financial, and scientific organizations. You're going to make shady treaties to carry out covert operations, and you're going to hit up global projects which shape the history of the world. So again, it's more of a card game at heart, and but it looks like you got some meeples in here too, some cool stuff. Oh, there's the Illuminati, right? So anyway, so I saw this in on sale for a greatly reduced rate and said, what the heck? I did like the Illuminati game. I did like the Illuminati World Order, and so this is Deep State World Order, so I thought I'd give it a try. So let's take a look in the box here and see what we have. If any of you have played this, if you've played any of those games that I've mentioned so far, I'd love to know your thoughts on it, but if you've played this one, especially like to know what you think about it. So there's the box cover. Here are the rules, and then we have a reference guide. Oh wow! So I think conspiracy games have to be overly complex, right? But you have a game rules and a reference guide. So let's take a look at the game rules here. I like that. You know me, when they use the back of a rule book for a player aid, I'm always a fan of that because it's I hate wasted space. So you got your actions here. You got World War. You got a game round. So you got an action phase, takeover phase, and a treaty phase. Cool. So how many pages do we have here? We have 25, which includes the credits. Looks like there's a Men of Action expansion and World Domination. I wonder if the Men of Action expansion comes in here. I don't know. Might have to look at that. So let's look, see how many pages we have here. Here is like an introduction to the game, reality or fiction, becoming a world government. So you got your components. So you got 68 objective cards, 35 secondary objectives, an HOC identity. Don't know what an HOC action deck, or one HOC identity card and one HOC action. Don't know what that is. Treaty tokens, supervisory, headhunter. Got the rule book and reference book, world domination projects, covert operations, treaties, 46 cards, Men of Action expansion. So they do have the Men of Action expansions in here. Reference, scoring pad, agents. It looks like your meeples here, and ghost agents. So yeah, this is going to go into the spy playlist. Here's your setup. So you're going to have these kind of player boards here, but then also, or these boards, and then a card tableau, and then you've got cards for your, and you got little meeples for your agents. Here's gameplay here. Oh, and the thing I liked about this too, another reason I picked it up, is not only the theme and the price, but it's solo. So there's a solo rules for this. Always music to my ears. Especially since I just recently dropped off my oldest to college. Yes, they are starting to leave the nest, so I'm running out of players. Need to make more. All right, action phase. Wow, so there's a lot going on here. Some of it's dual column, but there's like these insets that are colored examples, and then you've got some notes here like Hit Hunter, the 5-player game. Then you've got a whole episode 1, Struggle for a Consulate. So you got a whole full color page here. Here's the breakdown of an objective card. There's going to be some symbology in this that you need to pick up, but that's kind of consistent with card games. Here's a whole page on ghost agents. So, yeah, I mean, it seems a little jumbled, so I'm reserving judgment. I got to read through it. I'm just looking at this for the first time, but there's a lot of stuff just popping up all over the place. Here's breakdown of a covert operation card, breakdown of a world domination project. So those are those big cards at the top, or player boards or whatever. I don't know if they're mounted. So then we have episode 2, heading towards world revolution. So I don't know if those episodes are. So episode 1, Struggle for Consulate. I don't know if that's episode meaning to explain the game to you, or if that is an introduction to the game. Introduction to the game, not sure. Episode 2. This is talking about the takeover phase. So this is still going with gameplay because takeover phase is one of the phases. Episode 3, ready for new assignments. So maybe the episodes are just how you play the game. So maybe that's like a playthrough in the game, in the rules themselves. And here's the treaty phase. Breakdown of a treaty card. World War cards. Here's an example of World War. World domination. And examples of influence generated by objective cards. And men of action expansion. Then we're at the end. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot there. So you know, I'm not sure exactly what the complexity of this is, but it looks a little bit more complex than what you might think. And again, that kind of harkens back to the old Illuminati game that I used to play. I do like the art, though. The art is kind of, you know, it's cartoonish, but it's also a little bit more serious. And I don't know, it feels a little bit like Archer, maybe, the series or something. It's just, it's a different kind of art. Here's the reference guide. So this is going to be talking about the emblems, the objective cards. You get a little bit more of a breakdown of them. So this is, I guess, you don't necessarily need to go through this to learn the rules, but this is something you can refer to. Hence, reference guide. That might give you a little bit more explanation of some of the cards when you're playing those cards. What does it mean? Like here's Club of Rome, Communist League, CIA, Elder Brothers Union. There's some treaties over here. Here's solo mode. So I guess you do need this if you want to play solo mode, because here is I think this is the rules for solo mode. You got difficulty levels. I imagine that's for the solo mode. You got Game of Influence. I don't know if this is a different game here. So HOC action. So I wonder if those HOC cards are the, is that the bot for solo? Maybe it's the bot for solo. Anyway, I have to read up on that. And then you got some images here. So there you have it. And then again, we have another player aid at the back here. Objectives, supreme power cards, inner circle cards, projects, emblems, and treaties. So there you go. Nicely done there. These aren't huge. I mean, they're smallish, you know, square books, full color, but there's a lot in there. Here's some cardboard tokens. Head of classified. That's the HOC. Head of classified. So maybe that is the bot, maybe. Got some baggies in here, and we got a lot of bits in here. So let's see what we got here. So this is, whoa, those are nice, big, thick, chunky pieces of wood. Double printed there, double-sided. Then you got your bits. These are your agents that you're putting out there. Cool. Then we've got all kinds of, we got several different sizes of cards here. So we got big and small and square. These are actually tiles. Then we have a pad here, maybe a scoring pad, which is double-sided. It's kind of marked up and stuff because it's been in your dossier or the secret briefcase. We have these cards here, which are they're single-sided because these are going to be on the board or on the table, I should say. Unified Nations, Deep State. Gotta love those masks. Spyware. Yeah, this is definitely going in the spy playlist. Kind of cool. The Socialist. And there you have it. So those are your 4 of those. You gotta put them that way, and they won't fit back in there. Then we've got, let's see what we have here. These are thicker tiles here. That look kind of nice. That's cool. Let's get into some of the cards here. I'll start with this deck here first. again, if any of you have played this or because this has been out for a little bit of time here, love to know what you think about it. I saw a little bit of content on it, and saw some good comments on it. If I see a lot of bad comments, even if it is in the bargain bin or cheap, I tend not to, unless I think the bits are worth it alone, then I might pick it up then, but otherwise I'll try to shy away from it. See these cards here. These are the smaller cards, and they're fine. They got like not quite a linen finish on it. They all have the same back here. They don't have all the same back. I spoke too soon. So at least 2 different backs on those. So it's clear. The iconography is clear. The text is kind of small, but it's not an exorbitant amount of text or inordinate amount of text or too much text. How about that? Yeah, this reminds me so much of, you had the Rosicrucians. That was in this game, so, I'd need to read if there's designer notes, I need to read and see if they had some, there's the Illuminati itself, if they had some influence from that game. So cool. Those look interesting. Then what do we have here? These look like people. Recruiter, power broker, hitman, mediator. Yeah, this is all good stuff here. Looks like they have some special abilities. Okay, cool. Let's see what we have in this deck here. Oh, there's some more of those here. Yeah, we got some more of these. Card. No, these are a little bit different. Those have a necklace or something. These have a Medal of Honor or Medal of Illuminati on it. These have a tie. So, let's see what these are. Now, some of these look the same. Power broker, hitman, recruiter. So some of those are the same. Interesting. Then we have these. We've got all kinds of different backs in here. Different colors. Let's see what these are, so these are just double-sided with those symbols, so you're gonna have to learn some symbology here. Okay, then we got these bigger cards here. So as you can see, there's really no board other than these kind of overlays. There's really no or underlays, what do you want to call it. There's really no board. This is at its heart looks like a card game. Here's rules for solo mode. Here's reference card 1. Here's some reference cards. That's cool. And then we have some more reference cards in here. So there's some reference cards buried in here. Looks like some more reference cards. They're just falling out of the sky here. So these are all have the kind of the Illuminati eye. So I like the art. I don't know if maybe your mileage may vary, but I think it looks interesting. It sure is clear. Again, you're going to have to learn what these different icons or symbols mean, but the card is not overly crowded. These cards don't have any text other than just the title, so relatively clean. So cool. So there's those cards. You had the reference cards as we saw. So that is the game. That is what you, different reference cards and projects and objectives. So I'll have to sort those out. So there it is. That is what you get in a box of, what is this called? Deep State. Deep State, the World Order. Looks interesting. I'm interested in getting into this. As I said, the The rules just didn't jump out at me as being okay. Yeah, that's what's going on there. So it looks there might be some need for explanation of some of this stuff here. This might be not the easiest games to figure out, but maybe it is. Anyway, if you've played it, love to know what you think about any of this stuff. And put your comments down below. So that's what I have for you today on Sanctuary Sunday. Again, there might be some more Deep State coming. Still stay tuned for that. Let's move this over a little bit so we can center it up there. Anyway, love to hear your thoughts on any of this stuff, on the spy games or the Illuminati game from Steve Jackson games, or this game, or anything else that's on your mind. Just keep it civil. Thanks all. Take care. Thanks for watching.